Step number 6. Optimize your list by targeting your traffic source. Just because you have a lot of people on your list doesn't necessarily mean you will make a lot of money. There are a lot of list marketers with huge bloated lists but are struggling. The reason is that they made the all too common mistake of assuming that the more the merrier. That's not going to cut it in modern email marketing. You need to get the right people on your list. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of freebie downloaders on your list. These people don't even bother to unsubscribe, but the damage remains the same. They are not likely to open your emails and not likely to convert. How can they? They don't even read your emails. Optimize your list by using source-targeted traffic strategies. As much as possible, you should start with free traffic sources to optimize your squeeze page and your updates. By using free traffic, you should be able to get enough clues as to how to tighten up the incentive you're offering, increase your squeeze page conversion rate, and maximize your email open rate. Once you use free traffic to get this information, you're obviously saving money. The downside of this is you're going to have to invest time into this. You're still paying, but not in the form of money. Instead, you're paying in the form of time. Using free traffic, highlight your incentive. Use brand-building content to get people excited about the value of your updates. Keep optimizing your squeeze page and your updates until you are confident that these can convert paid traffic at a high enough rate. Paid traffic targeting strategy. Once your squeeze page has been optimized by free traffic, start taking out paid ads. Now, I don't suggest that you jump in with both feet and place $100 a day ads on Facebook or Google AdWords. Instead, I suggest that you optimize your squeeze page and your mailing list to paid traffic using small, targeted ad buys. Start with $1 daily buys. Pay attention to your statistics. See if people are really converting at a high enough rate. Keep tweaking your squeeze page until your $1 ad buys convert at a fairly high rate. Once you've done this, start optimizing your email updates to boost your conversion rate. This requires a tremendous amount of attention to detail. You can't be lazy about this. You can't just set it and forget it. You have to pay close attention to your ad campaigns so you can quickly deactivate campaigns that are not working, while increasing the volume of ad campaigns that are producing a higher level of conversions. You have to be proactive. You can't just sit back and spend money on paid ads. Believe me, paid ad costs can spike up very quickly, especially if you are not paying close attention. At best, you would be throwing good money after bad on campaigns that are not working out. Optimize your squeeze page sign-up rate. In previous steps, I've gone over this topic at some level. Still, optimizing your squeeze page plays a critical role in the success of your mailing list campaigns that you need to go through specialized steps to ensure your optimization efforts are correct. It's extremely important that you follow the steps below. Don't miss any detail. Make sure you implement each of the steps below, otherwise, you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. You have to understand that these optimization steps assume that you have already set up your squeeze page and have set out your updates. It also assumes that you've already optimized your squeeze page at some level. Here are further optimization ideas to try to maximize the conversion ability of your email list recruitment page. Ask, and you shall receive. Do direct outreach with your list members. These are people who have already signed up to your list and are in the best position to know about the things you can do to improve your squeeze page. They've already gone through the conversion process. They've seen your squeeze page, obviously liked something that they saw, and they signed up. Now is the time to reach out directly to them and ask for suggestions. Pick their brains regarding the things that you did right and any areas for improvement. Believe me, this is no time to assume that everything you've set up is perfect. You have to set your ego aside and ask for suggestions. There is always room for improvement. Make sure to offer some incentives for the feedback. This is critical. You have to understand that people have better things to do than to respond to your email. With everything else being equal, most people would probably just read your email and not bother to respond because there's nothing in it for them. They have other more important things to take care of. You have to make it worth their while to respond. With that said, You also have to be careful. Some people might give you sloppy or even misleading information just to get the incentive that you're offering. Pose some sort of incentive that is attractive enough for people to want to respond to your outreach. However, it shouldn't be so attractive that you get fake results. What should you ask feedback for? Ask for how your squeeze page can be made better. However, you have to break down the squeeze page elements one by one. You can't just say, "How can I improve my email list recruitment base?" That's too broad. Instead, you have to look at the different elements that go into your squeeze page. Ask them, am I using the right graphic? Is the text easy to understand? Is the value proposition behind the incentive I'm giving away very clear? Similarly, you should ask about the quality of the updates you're sending out. More specifically, you should ask your list members, what improvements should I make for you to forward my emails to people you know? Don't neglect the power of feedback, because oftentimes the cheapest and most efficient way to get from point A to point B is a straight line. Ask your list members, but offer an incentive. It's also very important to make sure that you don't just jump on the first suggestion you get. Look at the total amount of responses you get and pay attention to the most common theme. If people keep talking about the picture on your squeeze page and only a handful of people mention the incentive that you offer, chances are quite good that if you change your squeeze page graphics, you might be able to increase your conversion rate. Look for these patterns. Don't get thrown off track by outlier responses. Warning: I wish I could tell you that you only need to rely on people's direct answers to boost your conversion rate. Unfortunately, this is not the case. In the back of our heads, when people ask us a question, we tend to try to give them the answer that we think they're looking for. This is always the case. This applies across the board. Now, these suggestions can lead to all sorts of problems if you use them to guide the changes to your squeeze page. You have to pay attention to the most common answers that you get. Next, you have to cross-reference these responses with the actual actions people take. Actions speak louder than words. When you look at your squeeze page, please understand that you're not looking at one unified element. The squeeze page is actually made up of many different parts. There is the picture of the incentive, the text offering the incentive, the font, the size of the font, the color, the layout, among others. There are many different elements that go into that page. Change each element one at a time and pay attention to the conversion statistics. Make many different variations, and then test these variations against your traffic. You should quickly see that at least one variation has a higher conversion rate than others. The improvement might be fairly small. It might even be 1% or a couple of percentage points. That's okay. You need to isolate that variation and make more variations of it. Run traffic through all the variations and see if you can improve your conversion rate. Keep going through this process of making variations, testing with traffic, picking the winner, and making more variations until no further conversion rate improvement is possible. At this point, you should make variations of another element on your squeeze page. It's important to make sure that you change only one element at a time. For example, you can optimize the image of your squeeze page. Once your squeeze page converts at a higher rate and can't improve any further, then start changing around the text and see if that has a positive effect. Move from one element at a time until the squeeze page converts at a fairly high and predictable rate. Cross-reference these element changes with the actual feedback that you get from your list members. Using these two pieces of data, you should be able to come up with a statistics-driven modification strategy. Otherwise, you're just going to be taking your list members' words at face value. And it's anybody's guess whether their suggestions will actually improve your squeeze page's conversion rate. Use social proof. There's one simple trick that you can use to push people psychologically to sign up to your mailing list. We've all seen squeeze pages before. Typically, there's an email field, a call to action, and a submit button. There also might be a nice-looking graphic on the side. Unfortunately, these squeeze pages are so common that people usually become blind to them after enough exposure. However, people can and do set up and pay attention when they see that their other Facebook friends have signed up to the list. Alternatively, they become slightly more interested to see that a large number of people on Facebook have liked the page that they're viewing. This is called social proof. Few people like eating at a restaurant that is empty. At the back of their mind, they're thinking that the food must not be very good because there's nobody eating at the restaurant. On the other hand, If the restaurant is full and there are people lining up to get in, chances are quite good that people would want to line up even more because all these people simply can't be wrong. Do you see how group psychology works? You can use that psychology of social proof to boost your squeeze page conversion rate by adding the developer code of the biggest brand in your niche to your squeeze page. Facebook allows you to include the URL of a site on the code that it gives you to show Facebook likes. Embed that code onto your squeeze page to give the impression that a lot of people already like your squeeze page. In fact, this trick is so effective that it shows the viewer's friends' names along with the thousands of other people who have liked that page. Piggyback on this social pool and give the viewer the push he or she needs to sign up to your list. Identify your list segmentation strategy. What is segmentation? Segmentation means separating your list subscribers into smaller sublists based on their specific interests or preferences. It's not enough that they are interested in your niche generally. It's not enough that they are looking to solve a certain set of problems. By breaking down their specific interests in your niche, you can send them more targeted information that could lead to them buying more products. You can also segment people based on their purchasing behavior. You are leaving a lot of money on the table if you keep most of your list members on your general info list. You can send update after update to this general list, and I can almost guarantee that the majority of the people are probably not going to buy stuff. Wouldn't it be a better use of your time to get this list of people to filter themselves by going on a buyer's list? Once they are on your buyer's list, you can then send better crafted or more targeted emails to get them to buy stuff. Implementing segmentation strategies. To get people to filter themselves into sublists, send email updates with links to more specialized email lists. These lists target more specific needs. Over time, as you send one update after another, these sublists will fill up with people. You then need to send specific emails targeting the particular interests of the people on those sublists. This increases the likelihood that people in the specialized list would buy something because you are pushing products and services that cater to their particular interests. The second way you can segment is to get people to sign up to sublists from the beginning. That's right, you're not starting out with a general list. Instead, when people go to your blog or your website, they see different ads for mailing lists. These ads actually talk about specific issues and are very different from each other. When somebody clicks on a particular ad, they sign up for a list that only talks about the issues raised by the ads. They also only offer incentives that address tightly defined specific issues. This is a slower way of building lists, but it's more targeted. With everything else being equal, the slow growth rate of your mailing lists can be offset by the higher sales conversions of people signing up to those specialized sub-lists. The third approach you could take involves selling lower dollar items. You start with your general list, and you send one update after another promoting a $1 product. When people buy these $1 items, they end up on your buyer's list. Behind the scenes, they are automatically unsubscribed from your main list. Given enough time, you should have a fairly nice list of people who have bought $1 items. You then should focus most of your time crafting high-converting updates that target your buyer's list. This maximizes your return on effort. Instead of sending update after update to your general info list, hoping that people will buy a $20, $50, or even a $300 item, focus all your conversion firepower on a list of people who are tried and proven buyers. This saves you a lot of time and effort. You should still send updates to your general information list. However, you should space these apart and focus on value. You should also advertise only lower dollar items. If you do this right, you would be able to save a lot of money while making a lot of money. How is this done? First, you can easily see through your email list management system which of your list members are not opening your emails. You then prune these general information list members by automatically unsubscribing people who have not opened your emails. Whoever is left still opens your emails, and you still have a chance of converting these people into buyers later. If done right, segmenting your list into a general information list, then a buyer's list not only saves you time, but it also can save you money later. Be aware of your competitor's industry standard list segmentation. At this point, you should have already signed up to your competitor's mailing list. You should already know the topics that they send updates on. You should also be very familiar with the content of their updates. Pay attention to the common features of these emails and try to connect the dots. How do they segment their list members? Which of the general strategies described above are they using? Once you are clear as to their segmentation strategy, you might want to start there. Again, this is the industry standard. You're not exactly married to it. You can change it up later. You can make improvements based on how your list behaves. Don't neglect this segmentation strategy. Let's face it, people do unsubscribe. This is a fact of life. Don't think that just because you work hard to offer the right incentives to the right people, that they would remain loyal to your list. People do sign up, and after some time they unsubscribe. However, you can reduce your unsubscribe rate by simply asking people who wish to unsubscribe to change the update frequency of their membership on your list. Depending on your list automation software, you can offer list members a choice as to how frequently you will send them updates. Don't neglect this powerful tip, because this can save your list. Instead of the vast majority of your list members unsubscribing after a certain amount of time, you can hang on to a large chunk of them and possibly convert them into buyers later. Why segment? Why should you segment your list? People find themselves in your mailing list for a wide variety of reasons. While they share a common interest in your niche, that's probably the only thing they have in common. They can all agree on the one problem your niche focuses on. Despite this, they might have different related problems they need solved. A problem like weight loss, for example, has many different parts. Maybe some people are struggling with weight loss because of their metabolic rate. Other people simply eat a lot and have impulse control problems. Others tend to have a certain lifestyle. Whatever the case may be, these people agree on the common problem of weight loss. However, they may have different sub-problems they need addressed. As a result, they might need different stages of the conversion process. Some may need more information before they commit to buying a product. Others are already clear on the solution, but they just need a recommendation they can trust. Obviously, you can't send the same message to these people and expect the same results. It's just not going to happen. For every one person who is ready to whip out their credit card and make a purchase, there are probably dozens, if not hundreds of others who are still trying to make up their mind. Maybe they are looking for more information. Maybe they already have an idea, but they need to know more about specific solutions. Maybe others trust a solution but just need you to push them off that fence. Do you see the difference among these groups of people? This is where segmentation comes in. You need to set up a process where the people can be sent messages that will push them closer to the point of conversion. I've already covered the 3 strategies you should use to segment your mailing list. The following segmentation strategies are more detailed. Implement them after you've done the 3 main strategies listed above. You can segment your list members' emails using the following criteria. Location. If you tend to attract list members from many parts throughout the country, and you send out offers that can be regionalized, this may be a good option for you. Send only updates related to a specific region to people who live there. This makes the information more relevant to them, builds more trust, and leads to greater conversions down the road. Activity level. People who open your emails a lot have different expectations from people who casually open your emails. For people who are very big fans of your mailing list, you might want to ask them to sign up for another list in exchange for a reward. When they sign up for this other list, you can send them more frequent updates, and you can probably get away with trying to push them harder to buy stuff. They probably wouldn't mind because they already made it a habit to open and read your emails. Less frequent openers, on the other hand, can remain on your main list. You can send them updates at regular intervals. Lack of activity. If people sign up for your autoresponder series but don't seem to open your emails, you might want to set up an automatic reminder system. Depending on the email platform you're using, set up the system to send a reminder email asking the recipient to respond or ask you a question. This lets you know whether the recipient is completely ignoring your emails. If this is the case, then you can prune these list members. Since they're no longer opening your emails and you've already reached out to them to get them to open your emails, it's probably a safe bet that you can delete them from your subscriber base without any negative effects. Just send different updates based on incentives downloaded by the list member. As I mentioned earlier, you can run different email lists on the same blog or website page. When people click these ads to sign up to a list, they're actually signing up to different email lists. Usually, these different lists offer different incentives. Increase the conversion rate of these different lists by making sure that your updates are guided by the incentive downloaded by the list members. For example, if the list member downloaded a video, chances are quite good that this person probably would want to watch other videos. On the other hand, if this person downloaded a graphics template or a graphics package, they're probably more interested in similar types of content. Make sure that your updates speak to these different incentive preferences so you can maximize your sales conversions. Separate info list members from buyers using low-dollar product offers. I've mentioned this above, but this is so powerful that I can't help but mention it again. Depending on your niche, it may be unavoidable that you end up with a general information list. You work hard to offer incentives, get people to sign up to your mailing list, and at the end of the day, you have a lot of people on this list. However, these people are generally just looking for general information on your niche. They're also all over the place when it comes to conversion ability. In this case, it's a good idea to send regularly scheduled updates with low-dollar information product offers. Personally, I would push for really cheap stuff. We're talking about a $1 booklet, a $1 template package, or whatnot. Let your system send out these offers and set up your email on this management software to unsubscribe people automatically who buy these $1 items. Here's how you set it up. It's actually quite simple. When you send out your updates to your general information list, these updates will contain a link to your sales pitch. When people click that link, they see a purchase button. When they purchase, they were actually taken first to an email sign-up page. When they enter the same email address they used to get on your general information list, your email management software system will automatically unsubscribe them from the general information list and put them on the buyer's list. This way, when you send updates to your general information list, your tried and proven buyers will not see those updates. This is a good thing because you don't want them to feel that you're spamming them by sending them so many emails. You should then pay more attention to your buyers list. Maybe you should send them updates with more in-depth solutions. Or you should send them higher quality information to get them to buy higher priced products or services. Segment your list based on mobile versus desktop. This is really non-negotiable. Over 60% of internet users view the internet through a mobile device. The problem is that these devices have different screen sizes. Make sure your mailing list segments your list buyers based on their screen preference. Depending on the email list automation software you're using, you should be able to automatically detect this. Regardless, your squeeze page must be mobile ready. In other words, it doesn't really matter what device visitors use to view your squeeze page, your page would look really good. It would look its best. Optimize your squeeze page for all environments. It shouldn't matter whether your audience is viewing your squeeze page through a mobile phone, a desktop, or a tablet. Email list marketing is far and away one of the best ways you can market online. As I've mentioned in the introduction of this training, search engine marketing, for all its innovation, can't even come close. Mailing lists enable you to speak directly to the needs of your audience, regardless of where they are in the world and at any time. You can send them an email at any time, and you can rest assured that a significant percentage of your mailing list members will get to see your updates. Email list marketing is so powerful because it is based on a relationship. By following the 8 steps that I've laid out in this training, you can learn how to recruit a lot of people to your mailing list, speak to their needs, and convert them to maximize your income. The best part to all of this is that mailing list marketing enables you to earn an income in an automated way. You don't have to actively manage each member. Your mailing list software will do it behind the scenes for you. Your list can continue to attract and market to members around the clock without your direct supervision. You could be taking a vacation halfway around the world, and your mailing list continues to generate cold hard cash. Sounds awesome, right? Well, the devil is in the details. This is why I've broken down email marketing into 8 actionable steps. Pay attention to the steps laid out in this training, carry them out, optimize your system, and scale it up. Whether you're looking to earn a few $1,000s more per month or you're looking for 7 figures, email marketing gives you the opportunities you need to earn your desired income. I wish you nothing but the greatest success.